Alright guys, it's time to start breaking down the Ed trailer. So in this video we're going to cover all of his special attacks since his move list is released. Now, usually I would go over his normal attacks first, but since there's a ton of work in editing, I might as well just wait for the Street Fighter V beta that's coming this week to record better footage and then do it then. So, if you guys missed out on all the recent Ed news or my last breakdown video, it was revealed that Ed will have no charge moves or motion-based specials. All of Ed's moves will not require multiple directions and are extremely simplified. So the only exception is Ed's Super, which requires the traditional method. So if you're someone getting into Street Fighter or fighting games in general, this might be the character for you. Anyways, let's start breaking down the specials one by one. So let's start with Psycho Spark. This is done with forward plus medium punch. So this is a two-part special move. Just by pressing forward plus medium punch, it acts like a command normal, where Ed strikes upwards. It has very little range, most likely combo filler. I wouldn't be surprised if you can also use it as an anti-air though, but I don't know how fast it is. Now there's also a bunch of psycho power around his arms, so it might neutralize fireballs, but I'm just guessing of course. You can also juggle into this. This is where it gets interesting though. If you press the punch button after Psycho Spark, you'll do a follow-up special called Psycho Shot. Now in the trailer we only see the EX follow-up, so I don't know for sure if there even is a normal version follow-up, but if there is, then the EX version is done by pressing two punches at the same time after forward medium punch. Now that I think about it, off the top of my head, I don't think there is any moves that are EX only versions in Street Fighter V, but in Street Fighter 4 there was a move called Angry Scar from some character with an eye patch or something. Anyways, let's just talk about the EX version. So Ed punches out a fast projectile, kind of like a faster version of Bison's Psycho Blast. We don't know how far this projectile goes because it only hits the opponent in the trailer. It hits the opponent multiple times, so it's safe to guess that it'll go through other projectiles, and maybe even two-hit ones because it seems they hit 3 times. It also knocks the opponent up rather than down and allows a juggle afterwards. You have enough time to even dash forward and still juggle, so it's pretty good. From the trailer, it also seems that Ed can whiff the forward medium punch, the Psycho Spark, into the Psycho Shot. This might be useful to deal with other projectiles, for example, but the entire process seems pretty slow because you do have to just, whiff the forward medium punch and then go into the projectile, but at least it's an option. Alright, moving on, the next special is Psycho Knuckle, where it's hold down the punch button. Ed starts winding up, then dashes straight forward with a punch infused with Psycho Power. Think of this like Zangief's standing hard punch. Unfortunately, in the trailer, we only see it being charged all the way, so I don't know what happens if you charge it just a little bit. There's also no EX version of this move. Even though it takes some time to charge up and Ed looks wide open and stationary, the reward is big as it causes a crumple state and seems to make Ed cross up the opponent as well. After an EX Psycho Shot, you actually have enough time to charge this fully and juggle into a Psycho Knuckle, so at least you can combo to this, in a practical situation. Also, there's no EX version of this move either. Moving on, we have Psycho Flicker. You perform this special move by rapidly pressing the punch button. Ed does a series of rapid jabs. So think of this move like E Honda's 100 hand slap or Chun-Li's lightning legs. It's pretty much the same thing. There's no EX version. We only see this once in the trailer at the very start, so there's not enough information such as how many hits total this can do potentially, and it's most likely combo filler though. We know it combos from lights and can do at least 3 hits. Next up we have Psycho Upper. This is performed by pressing 2 punches at the same time. So very similar to Balrog's Upper, Ed dashes forward with an uppercut. Now just to clarify, the normal version is done by pressing 2 punches at the same time, and the EX version is confirmed to be done by pressing 3 punches at the same time. It seems to hit crouching opponents and launches them up really high. In the trailer also shows Ed juggling into Super after the normal version. The EX version is multi-hitting and faster, but pretty much the same thing. I would assume you get better juggles from this version, but I don't know for sure. Okay, next special move is Psycho Rising. This is done by pressing 2 kicks at the same time. Ed kicks upwards into the air, similar to Ibuki's uppercut for example. Also keep in mind that there is no EX version of this special, so it's most likely not an anti-air or a reversal, which was a good move by Capcom because we don't want a move like that to be only simply, pressing 3 kicks at the same time and autocorrect and be a reversal or an anti-air. So that's probably why. So the follow-up is called Psycho Splash, and this is pressing the punch button after Psycho Rising. So after landing Psycho Rising, you can press punch to do a follow-up Superman punch downwards. The EX version is done by pressing 2 punches at the same time. The EX version does pretty much the same thing, except it puts the opponent into a juggle state afterwards. We see Ed follow up with an EX cycle upper, for example, in the trailer. So Ed is going to be this really big juggle heavy character with long combos and a lot of meter management, I think. However, unlike Cycle Shot, this cannot be done when whiffing Cycle Rising. So you have to connect the hit to do the follow-up. That way, you can't just do, your Cycle Rising and then kind of just save yourself by doing a Cycle Splash out of there. So I'm sure Capcom thought about this. So that's it, guys. That's all of Ed's special moves according to the move list. Hopefully this gives you guys a better understanding on how his move list works, and I can't wait to actually get my hands on the character to do some more testing myself. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, Capcom has already released Ed's official preview theme on their website. So I made an extended version of it on my channel, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Don't forget to like the video, guys, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, as of course I'll be doing more breakdown videos like this in the future, especially on Ed. So till then, guys, take care.